Hey everybody, welcome to round number two, like we're in a Rocky movie, only the good ones. We got Shannon, amazing actress, voice actress, person all around. We got Ben Escobar, filmmaker, video game creator, awesome dude, groovy ass hair, good dude.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, trust me, if my wife saw it, she'd be like, "Yeah, you need to start trying to get that road game shit back." But Nah, so Ben, you were telling us about the video game Twirl that you made. You went fishing and you nabbed something. I'm just going with your guys' lingo, not mine.
Yeah,
uh
that's accurate.
oh yeah. So you were saying that, in film you kind of lost your identity.
Yeah.
And going to the video game world, which was always your passion. Uh and you kind of gained your you gained who you were back, you know, and you're now navigating this world, and you came up with a relatively quickly you came up with a video game, which is awesome because I know people who've been trying to do stuff for 10 years and they still can't mow their lawn, but whatever. you know uh so kind of walk us through the thought process of once you knew the game was created, once you did your test runs and everything like that. What was your thought process, and what was the overall feeling you had once it was where it is today?
Um, Damn, that's a heavy question. I think I'm still kind of processing where it's at today and thinking about that. I it was kind of crazy timing because a lot of the rush around the towards the end of the jam was first of all finishing the game and having it be, fully playable and like basically like enough for me to feel like that's the last time we're ever going to update it. Obviously, we've released updates since, but was gonna. I was very much feeling like it's out of my hands for good. But the week after that was GDC, the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, and I realized like, holy shit, if I'm going to go to GDC this year, because I've been going for the last 2 years for this game adaptation stuff, and typically my purpose there is like meet with developers and publishers, and it's always to talk about film and TV adaptations, and it's like fairly like to Hollywood talk, which feels very superficial in hindsight, and going to the Netflix party, and it's like, oh, cool. What's new here? Nothing. And I was like, God, I would love this year to sort of see a different side of this like conference and say I'm a game developer. And like, yeah, I still like am involved in like this adaptation thing. But like really more than anything, it was like priority one is this game and like talking about it and showing it off and seeing what it's like to be a developer here. And so that was, signing up for showcases last second, printing out banners, literally within like 15 minutes of timing before the
Oh dear.
last chance. Um, and like doing all this, like having to buy this gaming laptop on offer up from this random guy, and then having to drive up from San Francisco, do this whole like song and dance on the last day while trying to finish the game. And so it was this like insane runaround of, oh, I also forgot to fucking market the game. Oh, I forgot to do all this stuff. And what do I do? And every day, like of especially the last weeks of February, which, of course it's fucking February, so like you would think any other month you would have like 3 or 4 extra days of, from the 28th to like the 31st or whatever month that is. But no, of course we have a short month. And so it's like 3 extra days like that would have gone so far at that time. But all that's to say, I've been in a mad dash. I made all those deadlines by the skin of my teeth, but I haven't really had a second to like sit and think and be like, okay, what's next? What does this mean? Um, and I'm still in the middle of that. I think like creatively and like, kind of existentially with like that identity talk, I definitely feel good about it. And playing it, I was playing it like crazy, obviously leading up to the release, and but every time I would play it, and there'd be something new that's finished and added, like especially like there's a lot of like baby's first moments like in the development of it. So it's like the first time the lighting is all done, the first time um the sounds are all done, the first time all the voice acting is done was crazy because it's like that's the first time the story really hits. And so I'm telling you, for like 90% of this development cycle, I'm kind of questioning in my head, like, oh my God, I think like the last thing, the straw that's going to break the camel's back and make this game fail is the story because it's just not coming together. And I have no idea if it's going to come together because the voice acting was one of the last pieces we put in. And I was like, God, I've heard it. Obviously, I was there for the voice acting. I like directed and like cut down the takes. I know what it's supposed to sound like, but you know, when you're in the moment and you're like watching it play on its own, there's nothing like it. And man, that first moment of hearing that all in succession without me having to like pause or skip or whatever, or you know, it was really cool. And it was like, holy shit, it works. And it was like hitting me, and it was kind of like out of my hands. I don't know. Have you had that feeling when like you're watching your work like at a screening or like you know just on the TV and you're like it's not in Premiere anymore, it's not in fucking like the editing software, and it's just like, oh fuck.
Oh
That
yeah,
was kind of it.
yeah. So I do want to ask Shannon. Getting we've worked together obviously, but voice acting compared to on-screen acting, is there different? Actually, I guess this is a question for both of you because Ben, you've made movies. Is it harder to be a voice actor than it is to be on screen, or is it harder to be on screen than a voice actor?
I mean, for me, I think it's harder to find work. I think as like a voice actor because you don't have to look a specific way. You don't have like if you can make your voice sound like a 5-year-old boy and you're a woman and you can do it, congratulations. You can do it. But like it's great if you want to dye your hair. You can be whatever hair color you want for a voice actor. But it's also much more freeing because it's you are sometimes not even given a full character. You can just be given like a picture of something and be like, okay, have fun.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. I've actually been thinking about that a lot since we finished, and I'd have to say the voice acting is tremendously easier because I have done acting myself like on my own movies. Like I did a feature that starred myself very ridiculously, and like it was fine at the end of the day, it was fine. But like, my God, the amount of like, do I look okay? Do you objectively, do you take a guy that looks like me seriously in this role of saying these lines is so hard. But it's like when you don't see me and you're like, you just got my voice, like I think I just felt as an actor a lot more in control over the mystery of the whole the cinematicness of it all and the story experience. I felt a lot more secure, a lot more like in control, and a lot like, okay, this is better. Whereas an actor, I feel very out of control because I don't. I think like obviously the best actors, which by the way Shannon has, is a tremendous amount of self-awareness and knowing what kind of archetype you are delivering subconsciously and how to use that as your tool, as your advantage. I don't have that. I don't know if I ever will, but like with my voice, I totally did feel like I had that. So I would be happy to do it again, but yeah, it's hard.
I didn't even realize like you're saying that like I am so very much like self-conscious whenever I see myself on camera versus like listening to myself. I like enjoy it so much more because sometimes I can be like, wait, that's me.
Yeah.
It's not having the physical aspects is it's so much more freeing, and
Yeah.
it's just like because yeah, you could talk to someone on the phone and create an entire image of a person and just it versus you see someone and it's like that voice doesn't match that person.
Hmm. That's that's a good point.
But
I don't
see,
know. I'm just saying that's just mind boggling. Be like, what? That so much more sense. Like why I feel so much more like calm. Like when I submit an audition, I will not rewatch my auditions that I send like self tapes of. But I'll listen to my auditions that I send out over voice chat because I'm just like, oh
Oh,
god,
that's
oh my god, look
interesting.
how I did so good on that. I'll be like, oh, I didn't.
That's so
Wild.
interesting.
It's wild.
So it's funny because I kind of had a little bit of both worlds because when I first started this podcast, believe it or not, it wasn't even a movie podcast; it was a wrestling podcast. But the platform we were on, it was strictly phone. So we were just like, we'd call in and we'd do the podcast. And then I noticed that the trickle effect was we'd get two, maybe three different viewers every week. I was like,
Mm.
okay, so now they're not seeing the voices that or they're not seeing the faces that are putting these voices out there.
Mhm.
And I'm a big advocate of once you see a person, you kind of get the feel of if this is someone you want to talk to, listen to, blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. And
Mhm.
I'm not a judgmental kind of person. Trust me when I say that. But I also believe that the audience thoroughly enjoys seeing who they're listening to, you know.
Yeah.
But being on the opposite side of that and just doing voice, there is, like Shannon and you said, there is a freedom because you ain't got no kind of judgment. You ain't got people telling you, oh, you got a face for radio, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, this industry is a dog eat dog world,
Yeah.
but I can confidently tell you guys, and again, for everybody who's going to watch this is the first time I've ever, okay, second time I've talked to Ben, but in the same day. But anyhow, I can I can confidently tell you guys that, well, Shannon, I've already put you in front of a screen, and you shined, and Ben, you're more than welcome on any NC-17 production we ever make. So,
Thank you, man.
and
Appreciate that.
and that's, to me, I want to break the stereotype of, and I think we all should be trying to do this, break the stereotype of looks, you know. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about a video game, and I ran a lot. I'm so sorry.
I actually did have
No, you're
I have a
good.
question about the game. So, what was it like watching a streamer? Because I definitely thought that I saw that you were in recently. You saw that was someone was live and you were talking to them while they were playing the game. What was that like?
That was crazy. I was like a kid in a candy store. I like I don't know how else to put it. Like the teenage girl that is like laying on the bed in Mean Girls, writing in the burn book, just like happy go lucky giddy. Like that was me. It was like so like oh God, I could live in that moment forever because that streamer in particular was so like just in it and focused and just a objectively good streamer. I'm gonna look up their name real quick. I don't have it memorized. I should. Bits Bops. Bits Bops was their name. That streamer was so just got it. There's a lot of people I've noticed like okay, first of all, objectively, any person playing my game is like that's so sick and that's so nice. That was an incredible thing. That said, there's a lot of people who grind these games. I understand they're finding their audience. They're growing. There's a lot of people that just will play 10 itch.io games in a night and then very clearly be drained and not have much to say and be like, okay, I guess there's no jump scare. Okay, and the story just kind of goes right past them. And that's fine. Thanks for playing it. It's cool. It's hilarious. And there's still an effect there, but like my God, when someone like Bits Bops and like their whole chat is like in it and is like noticing things and is like so for example, one of them was like, are we like the whole effect of the game is you start to notice you're getting taller because you're playing as a little kid and you're getting taller over time and because you're telling a life story and someone was like there's that moment at the end of act 2-ish territory if we're gonna like break it down like that chapter 9 where you're crawling across the hallway which is like I think my favorite one that someone said in that moment I feel like this is a reflection of our self-worth instead of
Oh,
our age, like our in our confidence of like growing up, and then our peak of confidence and sort of cockiness is then brought down to its lowest state at chapter 9, which totally aligns with like no spoilers, like within where the narrative is at that point. And I was like, you
I
fucking get
oh
it.
the
You
people
fucking
actually
get it.
you did it.
Yeah.
You actually read the story. People understand it. I remember
Yes.
I have been very much the one like I'll look every day on YouTube being like twirl game and like look at like
Real
I
same.
have I have just like I the fact that I can see people react to this something that I'm in, it's like
Oh yeah.
my my partner will just be like, oh, another one. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
Good. There's more where that came from. It's
oh my
so
god.
good. I
But
love watching that.
it's like the one like someone saying like at the end of Bits Bop's stream, David Lynch would be proud. I was
That
just
was
like,
sweet.
me
That was really sweet.
just afterwards. It's just seeing people react to this game, and like sometimes they might not fully understand it, but they will still like appreciate different aspects of it.
Mhm.
It's fascinating seeing how people will relate to different parts of the story, but they don't fully understand it.
Yes. I think that's I appreciate you saying that. That's a very real thing that everyone is kind of I think come back to it. I think it also I don't encourage it because I think it's at this current stage it's like there's other games. I don't want to be all about me, but like I think it is a very much like a play it twice type of game, and then you'll get a lot out of it. And I would rather people do that on their own naturally and see like the specificities of it all. But yeah, on that streamer too, I will say like the when the PT nod hits on chapter 10 where it's like everyone on the T looks at the TV and is like, is that a brain scan? What is this? Okay, well, I don't even know. Like, and their whole chat was like, yo, that's PT. Holy fuck, the PT and the PS4 is there. Why is the PS4 there? And I was like, yes, you get it. Finally, somebody understands. And it's like I don't know, a human centipede type of nod because Human Centipede 2 is all about this guy who saw Human Centipede 1 and said, I want to make Human Centipede. You've seen that, I imagine, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I like that. I think it's funny. So it's like my character saw PT and made a PT game. And I don't know. I'm
so
crazy.
let me ask you this though. So going from film, which is already a competitive industry,
What?
Sure.
No.
going to video game, which one is more competitive, film or video games?
Oh man, I'll get a lot of flack for this, but I think film fun. I'm just a hater right now. No, I'm not a hater. I'm a realist, but like, fuck it. I think
You're a
everyone.
critic. Oh, you're much more of a critic.
Yeah, I know. I'm broken, beaten, scarred out here, and I'm fucking trying to like call it like it is. I think everyone says in film, cream rises to the top. I think that is a very, very wishful thinking statement. I think luck rises to the top, and obviously nepotism rises to the top, and like very primal, basic, um, you know, good luck and genetics rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Creativity and good material. I think we just live in a culture where even if it is that good, even if it is like considered great, we just fundamentally cannot. We're so we're drowning in good shit. We're drowning in great shit, and I think like film is so saturated as like a medium where we got to like sit back and watch the damn thing happen for us. Like that's you can only do so much goodness in that. And I think what's and I'm not saying this about myself, like, oh, I was great and woe is me. Like there's so much quality talent out there in this space that is just it's fundamentally overlooked and the real like studio system and all that is so broken and so massively insecure and lazy and the work ethic is just at the bottom right now for everybody because we've been spoiled and the money and this whole thing is very it's a bubble that's going to pop. I think with games, cream does rise to the top, and I think that's the nature of the fans, the nature of the medium itself. It's a more active thing. Like you're giving, like when you're trying to tell a story in games, your audience is leaning forward, like as a basis of what's happening. They have to control and they have to have some active input for the thing to move forward and to consume your story. Like, and what are they just going to sit there and not play your thing when you're giving them something to do? Like that's makes no sense. So it's already on a primal level works better. On movies, it's like you could just fall asleep and this thing will still be talking to itself. The movie will still be going, and that's like not as effective. But I think, as I was saying before about like creative direction going a long way in games, I think you can name a lot more auteurs in film and like very distinct voices and directors and stuff. You can't name as many in gaming um, for a number of reasons. I think one, because not a lot of people are willing to like kind of take that leadership role, and it's sort of a collective team effort of people figuring it out as they go. And then also like it's very hard to do that still. And I think when someone does break out and really does, treat the audience and gamers specifically like with a level of intelligence, you will be proven wrong that they're not just like brain rot. They're not all just brain rot Fortnite, Call of Duty players. Like a lot of these people really think deeply and consume art at like a high level and like are, you know, I don't know, they just know games are better. And like this is a better way of understanding story. And I don't know. I think my answer to that is a long-winded way of saying games are just better. It's more welcoming. It's more exciting, and yeah, it's competitive and it's difficult as fuck. But I think the technical difficulty of it is the main competition. The competition of you versus other artists, you don't need to worry about it. And in fact, those other artists are uplifting good shit. We want good shit. The idea of a
Mhm.
good game is very exciting, fundamentally. The idea of a good movie to me is exciting, but it's a lot of work. And for movies to be
It takes forever
successful,
to actually be seen as good versus like the day that we released it, like the game, like it was 100 downloads. It was like on the front of the page. You could actually see people like connecting with it in real
yeah,
time,
yeah,
which was
it's cool.
wild.
Yeah, with like no marketing either, which is like hype as fuck. And we just got added to the founder of itch.io's like collections. So we're on the front page of like fresh games. It's very cool and it's very nice. But I think with movies, like you guys probably notice this when you're watching a movie trailer, it's hard to smell bullshit. It's very hard. And every movie for it to work has to say like the scariest film of the decade. Long legs. And it's like, was
Or
it?
it'll tell you the
Um,
entire plot of the movie, or like show you the funniest parts of the movie in the
oh yeah,
trailer. And it's
and
like
yeah, it's
I saw the
desperate.
entire movie just in the trailer itself. Versus
Yes,
in video games, no, 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 no. You watch
yeah,
a trailer, it could be something completely different. It's just like a little like hint into like what you are playing, because you as the gamer are controlling what's going on. So
yes,
it's a lot different than having like this narrative, like linear narrative that's going to happen every time because it's a movie and it's already done.
yeah. It's a lot harder to lie too in games like in game trailers. Yeah, you can lie. There's a lot of liars out there. But like people are just smart. Like you ever watch like a live game showcase like E3 or like Summer Games Fest, like Game Awards, where they're playing these trailers? The chat is lighting these people up because they're smelling bullshit the first second it's on the thing. You don't do that with like a movie trailer. Like you're kind of like, God, I guess I'll wait for when it's on demand. That's the safest way I can treat this. And and then you get it's just another night of watching Netflix and another night of being disappointed and going to sleep.
Yep.
It's like I don't know.
You don't normally put games on as like you could do like let's plays as like as background noise to go to sleep, but like you don't normally just do games itself on unless there's a really good soundtrack on the menu, and then it's just like
Sure.
like,
Yeah.
that is my soundtrack to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Eh, Like if you gave me the Devil's Rejects or House of a Thousand Corpses soundtrack on a video game, I'm probably going to listen to it all night long. You know,
Yeah.
but that's just me. But I get what you're saying because in trailers and my first movie is getting ready to come out. Well, our first movie. I keep saying I. It's not me. It's all of us. But but our first movie is getting ready to come out soon, and like the thing about it is I already know just because of all the shit we went through, it's not going to be a Scorsese film. Also, I already know because it's my first time writing and directing. I leaned so hard on all of the actors and actresses and relied on them, and I am grateful they delivered. You know,
Mhm.
and it's like they didn't even have to try; they delivered on the spot. Like I see the trailer for Iron Lung, and I'm like, okay, tons of blood and gore based off a video game. I'm happy, right? I see the movie, and I'm like, it's good, but I like the video game better. You know, so then I go and I see the trailer of Resident Evil Requiem, and I'm like, okay, so we know who's in it, and we know there's zombies, but we don't know the story.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I like that aspect about video games is you can give them action, blood and gore, whatever you want, but you're not giving them the story in the trailer for the video game. So I do like that versus the trailers of movies because let's face it, Hollywood sucks lately. You know,
Hmm.
like if I see one more Marvel movie, I think I'm gonna vomit out of both ends because I just that
Okay, you say that, but Daredevil's Born Again season 2 is coming out soon, and I'm so excited for that. But it's a movie, so never mind.
well, see, like my favorite Marvel character is the Punisher.
So you're also excited for Daredevil Born Again too.
Just for Punisher. Everybody else, I'm like, not a. I lost interest in some of the actors like Vincent D'Onofrio. His best thing was Full Metal Jacket. Anything after that, eh.
Hmm.
Actually, so that raised a question in my brain because I know like one of my favorite things looking for movies and such is going online afterwards and be like Easter eggs that are hidden in like in whatever TV show. Do you think it's like easier or harder to put Easter eggs into like a video game versus a film and like expect people to like find them? Because I know like Resident Evil Requiem, like people are finding the Easter eggs a lot, but like it's in a movie, I feel like do you have to be more subtle about it?
That's interesting. I'd say in game, like it all just depends on how dedicated your audience is. Like if they really, really love it, they will go out of their way to like play it in ways you could not imagine, which it involves like I think like reading the license plate of Leon's car is like part of that grand Easter egg in Requiem. So it's like, yeah, that stuff and like seeing all these fine print stuff. Yeah, they will follow the love, and that's a very great sign of you've done something right. I think like in movies, yeah, it's incredibly hard because again, it's you're now battling against the phone, and there's no phone dynamic in games unless like you're like having to sit and
look,
you're
look
for whatever
look up a
reason.
guide.
Yeah, look up a guide or like you died and it's like a 20-second respawn time if anything, or like it's battle royale and you're gonna wait to get revived, then you're gonna
It's
bust
Kingdom
out your
Hearts
phone.
before they did the skipping of the cutscenes.
Oh yeah. Although I don't like skipping those cutscenes.
Okay,
Those are good
you
scenes.
can only hear the Hercules before fighting Cerberus. The I have two words for you.
Oh yeah.
You can only hear that so many times before it's just
Oh
like
yeah. That's so true. I forgot about that.
So here's a
Oh.
$1 million question. Now you've been both, no pun intended. Sorry. uh, so you've witnessed both film and video game. You've witnessed movies based off of video games based off of movies. We got about 10 minutes left too. Uh, do you ever in your lifetime want to cross over and make your video game a movie at some point, if possible? Or do you want to just keep them separate so you can keep the solace and like the video game world away from the bullshit?
Yeah, 100% I do. Because first of all, I know there's a lot of demand for that right now, and Hollywood is very mystified by what they don't know how to do, which is video games. They're mystified what's also better by what's better than them, which is video games. And so everyone just be buying these rights like crazy. Everyone's like, you say you have an IP that's not a movie or like a just an IP that's based on a video game. Like everyone's like Yeah, what is it? We'll do it. And already from releasing this game, the difference in like how people talk to me is so like, bro, like I've known you for like well over like a year now. Why are you being all weird? Like I'm gonna get away. Like don't be like that. And it's like it's flattering, I guess, but it's also just I don't know. Yeah, it's sort of a Trojan horse. Like you could, it's a great play in that where you could do a Trojan horse. Like I'd made this video game so that way I could like shoehorn my way into a film career. Um, but with Twirl specifically, it's hard to think about what the movie is. That said, it's totally on my mind. And like the one thing I would ask, and I'm pretty hard about is like and because I know the reality of the process too with this, once you have bought the rights, the big secret of this rights acquisition thing with the studios and getting video games is the most passionate they will ever be in the entire process of this video game adaptation thing is when they are trying to close the rights and close a deal to get the rights. As soon as the deal's done and the hard work is out and they've retained ownership over it over like 18 months, whatever the fuck, it'll be like it never happened. They're just gonna like, yeah, we'll get to it. That was a lot of work. We're gonna get to it and do the packaging and do all that, and then the packaging never happens, and then or it just it attempts to happen, and then it's impossible to get writers and directors attached because the writer and director that will get the movie greenlit, which has to be a certain caliber, and they have to play the video game and get the video game. A lot of these people have never touched video games, don't
Fans
want
will
to touch
know
video
if
games.
if you haven't touched the video game and you try to make it like be like, oh
Yes.
yeah, this is the same thing, or it's like it's in the same universe. No, it's not.
Yeah, it's exactly. And so what happens is because this money spent on acquiring the rights needs to be like not lost, the caliber of writers and directors starts going down to where they start calling up the bench warmers and be like, if we get that name, I think it's just enough of a name that we can get the movie made, and then we'll get our payout, and it'll be okay. And yeah, it'll be an okay thing, but at least you'll have gotten paid. We'll all get paid, and then maybe the next time we'll get them because we gotta get them out of the way. And it's like that's such a shitty way of going about it because it's at the expense of the developer and the story that could have been great and good. So my take of it is like, if you're gonna adapt my fucking video game, I get right of first refusal for fucking writing, directing that shit. And like I've proven more than anybody else that like first of all I can get it done on a film level and a game level, but then also like I know the song and dance of how this is going to go. I know when you're going to call the agency, it's going to be crazy cool week one, and everyone's going to say, "How did you do it? How did you do it?" And you're going to fucking get the fucking wind knocked out of your sails, and no one's ever going to hear from you. It's never going to happen. And so like if this adaptation shit is ever going to happen, you need to have like the first thing you need more than the money, more than the production company is you need to have the creative and you need to have the fucking writer director on board and they need to fucking live and breathe for it and they need to not pussy out. They need to not be weird about money because that's like the main Jenga block that kills all this shit. That's why like why do you think God of War, the showrunner right now, is not play they fired that old showrunner, and this new showrunner has not played the fucking game, and he has to have his assistant play it for him, and now everyone's shitting on their
No.
first look thing. It's because like they just need somebody, anybody, please. We got a big game. We paid so much fucking money for this. Please, somebody take the job. You, okay, that's a good enough name. It's okay to even play the game. We'll figure it. Get your assistant. That's what assistants are for, right? And then we'll figure it out. And then yeah. Anyway.
We
I
got
mean,
about
it's
4 minutes left.
God damn it.
Oh, please believe me. Probably not tonight, but we will definitely have you back on because this is a conversation that I think will also need multiple episodes.
oh no, Josh wants to talk to you more. What?
Oh
uh,
no.
but I do wanna give you an opportunity right now. Give you the floor to kind of plug your socials where people can or cannot get a hold of you. That's entirely up to you. What they can look forward to and when the game might actually drop so the public can play it.
So the game is playable now. If you want to play it on itch.io, it's free. Just look
Only
up
for PC at the moment.
only for
Max.
PC. Yeah, Windows PC. So like you got to type in t.w.i.r.l. I was considering changing the title to twirl all caps, so that way like somebody types in twirl, they'll find it. Um, because apparently if you type in twirl like without the dots, like it doesn't come
It
up
does not.
on Itch.
No,
That's not good. I didn't realize that
get
till today, but
ballerinas.
um, yeah, I gotta figure that out. But for socials, it's at Genie Boy Games on like Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it is called, and Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to find my old streamer persona that was playing Call of Duty and stuff, you can find me at Genie Boy Plays, which is where the name Genie Boy comes from. But I decided it was best not to use the bigger TikTok for this because I just have so much old shit on there that's like I got to separate church and state. Um, so yeah, there's that. And in terms of new stuff that's coming out, we are working on a lot of different games. I would obviously love to work with Shannon a million times more, and I'm currently like talking with my team, discussing like, hey, like we obviously made a huge splash with this itch.io game out of nowhere. Like, what if we did more? What's the likelihood of us being able to put out more games like this in short amount of times, like effectively, while also working on a bigger project? And so something in the works right now. I'm writing with a friend, and it's sort of experimental, but we'll see where it goes. And I'm trying to have it have voice acting so that we can have Shannon back for a bigger and better role that is not a crazy
Employ
ex-girlfriend.
me.
Yeah, and it's not a demon crazy girl. So this one's good. Um, but yeah, we're working on a bigger project that is sort of soft announced. It's only announced in name and in conversation. It's called Sweetheart, and it is a horror game about first love and your high school sweetheart for 15 years, about the need to break up with your girlfriend of 15 years after she has blown up to be a mega celebrity superstar on the scale of Sabrina Carpenter, and the world is watching you. And what do you do? So it is inspired by mouthwashing.
Fascinating.
Thank you. It's been in the works for a while. Um, Hoping to have a trailer out for that by the summer. And also Twirl is anticipated to come out this summer as well, July, if all looks okay with numbers and stuff. And that'll be on Steam for about $5, I think. No more,
Woo.
no more than that. But yeah, we're out here. We're trying.
All right. Well, I want to thank you, Ben, for coming on, being an awesome guest, filling
Thank you
my
for having
brain
me.
up with a lot of stuff and a lot of words I don't know, but it's all good. Uh, Shannon, as always, so. Uh, but definitely, we will definitely have you back on, and yeah, thank you for coming on, everyone. Stay NC-17.
Thank you for having me, guys. It was great.